How often do you set an expectation on someone, whether it be your partner, a friend, a family member, only to be let down or to have some disappointment? Do we actually have a right to set an expectation on anyone? That's a good question. Hello, I'm Caterina Smillie and welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, it's great to have you. If you're returning, it's good to see you. Today what we're going to cover is the actual definition, the meaning behind the word expectation. We're going to absolutely cover the intention behind the word. What are we actually saying to someone when we set an expectation? Yeah? It's really important that a lot of the words that we use, some of us aren't even quite sure of the meaning or the definition. We use them because it's just like it's a common word. And we know in what context to use them. Now, I'm not saying we're animals. However, I'm going to share with you that we have a bird and he absolutely knows when to use a particular word. Does he know the meaning? No. However, he says it. Those of you who have children will absolutely be aware that they will use particular, maybe naughty words, in the right sentence. Much like us. Now, they don't know the meaning of it, just as my bird doesn't know the meaning of it, but it's been so familiar, he's continuously heard it, or your child has continuously heard it, attached to a certain emotion, and they're going to say it, right? So in essence, why would that not apply to us? If we haven't looked up the definition and we're really not aware of the intention behind the word that we're using, maybe is that why we're using it? So let's cover, what is the definition of expectation? It's a very strong belief you have about the proper way someone should behave, or an expectation that something should be done, a particular way it should be done, or even that something in particular should happen. We have an expectation, yeah? How many of you can absolutely relate to that in situations where you've gone, oh, I thought that was going to happen? And even a thought is actually an expectation, right? It's just we haven't used that word. I expected that to happen. I hear it a lot predominantly in relationships. Yeah, I have expectations that they should do this and they should do that. And I go, what right do you have to put an expectation on anyone else? It's your belief. And this is where a lot of conflict arises within relationships, friendships, family, and even at work. We're going to cover that a little bit later regarding work because it's a little bit of a different ball game when it comes to the word expectation, yeah? So when we set an expectation on someone, what's the intention behind it? What are we actually saying? And what is that person that you set the expectation on? What may they be feeling? So let's go through it. So basically you would be saying, I expect you to do the dishes. Yeah? I expect you to do the dishes. That's part of your job. But what are you really saying? Do you want to know? You're saying you're to do the dishes. You better do the dishes. And you better do it in my time. Because that's my expectation. I did a little short video on my Facebook and it was my husband doing the dishes. And he was chatting and I decided to film it. And he said, I don't normally do the dishes on a Saturday night. I leave them for the morning, right? Now, if I was one that bought into expectations, my expectations would then be that those dishes are done at night time because I do not like the dishes left on the sink. That's an expectation. Does it really matter when he does it? At the end of the day, that's my problem. That's my expectation. He'll do the dishes. There's not a problem with that. But what I'm really saying is you better do the dishes in my time. Yeah? So that's why within our relationship, I have deleted the word expectation from my vocabulary and we've deleted expectations. I'll give you another example. My husband has made a coffee for me predominantly most mornings, I'm going to say nearly every morning. Yeah. There are on the odd occasion the coffee hasn't been made. Now, rather than me show gratitude for all the years that he has made coffee, I could have a set expectation saying, where's my coffee? You didn't make my coffee this morning. That's an expectation. So how is that showing gratitude? He doesn't have to make me the coffee. He doesn't have to do anything. He chooses to. I would rather my husband do things for me because he chooses to, not because he feels he should or he has to. He's not my child. And nor do I want him to set the expectations of me that I should cook dinner or I should do this. It goes both ways. And the biggest thing from all of it is when we set expectations, we're often setting ourselves up for disappointment. Because if someone hasn't met our belief, our expectation, then we're going to react, yeah? Which is disappointment. How do you react? Anger, hurt, and anger generally means screaming. How does that impact you when your expectation is not met? Now, I'm predominantly speaking in our everyday life with family, friends. How many expectations have you set on a friend and they didn't meet that expectation? Or you call them and you have a set expectation that they should call you straight back. Why? We all have busy lives. It doesn't mean they love you any less. It doesn't mean that they don't respect you. Sometimes we need to really just go, you know what? We respect they're busy and they'll call us when they've got the time. Expectations can impact your life so greatly. So why the hell do you want to keep doing that to yourself? It impacts your emotional well-being. How many times have you got upset? I heard a story of, and I don't remember where it came from, that a particular woman had an expectation that she would get this particular handbag as a gift. Yeah? She didn't get that gift. And so whatever else was done for her, there was no gratitude or appreciation because she had that expectation that she believed she was going to get this particular gift. And it didn't happen. How many of you have experienced something similar, whether it's a gift, a holiday, anything, that in your mind you had this belief or this expectation that this is what was going to transpire and it didn't come to fruition? And our reaction has maybe hurt the person we love, a friend, all because we set an expectation on them. And there's no truth in it. We just believed it to be true. I'm really big on really focusing and knowing and being fully aware of the words that you use and the intention behind them. What are we actually saying just by that one word? The word expectation, what you're actually saying to someone is, you better do that. You should do that. You have to do that. I don't want to be seen as that person. So maybe the next time that you choose to set an expectation on someone, you may really choose to sit down and go, do I have the right? That's my biggest thing, is I don't have a right to set an expectation on anyone. I'm an individual, and nor do I want anyone to set an expectation on me. If we want something, then we ask for it. Be very clear. But expectations just lead you to disappointment. And why do you keep wanting to put yourself in that situation where it impacts you? It doesn't make logical sense. And I can hear some of you saying, yeah, I have a right to put an expectation. I expect this and I expect that. Why? Because if you're in a relationship or a friendship, what makes you think, I'm going to use that word, what makes you think you have the right to set a standard on somebody else? Why do they have to live up to your standard? It's your belief that it should be done this way. That's not truth. That's just your perspective. Yeah? And if you want something done a certain way, either show the person you love how to and explain to them and share with them. You know, if the pillows aren't put on the bed, babe, it does my head in. However, all I'm going to then say is, in the scheme of things, in a week from now, will it impact you that the pillows weren't put on the bed the way you wanted them to? No. Does it impact you in a week from now if your friend didn't get back to you within the 5 minutes that you expected them to? No. And if it did, then how deep is your friendship? How much do you value your friendship? And the same with the relationship. You're going to argue and have disagreements in any relationship purely over pillows, a phone call. My goodness, there are so many other things in life that you could concern yourself with. So why would you allow pillows or a bed not being made or the dishes not being done in my time frame to impact your relationship? Whether it doesn't matter, intimate, friends, work, doesn't matter. Now, I discussed it, I was going to go over to work. Now, some people may be saying, if you're in a business, I have an expectation that my employees or my team should be doing things at a certain level, right? Rather than shift the expectation, set standards. This is the standard for my business. And share that with them and say, these are the standards that we want to maintain certain things. Do you feel that you could reach those standards? Because if people are not aware of your standards in a business relationship, and you could even do that personally, then what right do you have to expect them to do it to the standard that you want? So are some people in your life not reaching, you're getting upset with the expectations, but it's because you haven't shown them? You haven't shared that. And it's a standard rather than expect it. We're all different human beings and we value different things. And so pillows on a bed or something that you're doing at work may not be your priority or what you value. So therefore, you're not going to meet someone else's expectation. So the easiest way to eliminate all this is just don't use the word expectation, because then you won't set the intention. An expectation, I don't even like the sound of that word. When I hear that word, it doesn't sit well in here. Can you imagine if I said to you, I expect you to watch every one of my videos. Then I expect you to write a comment. Then I expect you to subscribe to my channel. And to top it off, I'm going to expect you to hit on the notifications bell. Right about now, what's your feeling? Who the hell is Caterina to say and to get me to expect me to do all that? Why should I? I wanted to give you that life example so you can feel it. How that word makes you feel. It's like, why is she telling me what to do? I'm not going to do it. And rightly so. Why the hell should you? I hope that gives you, and it was over dramatized, right? Absolutely. But I hope that you really get the essence of this message. And I do hope that moving forward, you choose to really stop setting expectations and maybe even delete that word from your vocabulary. I'm very big on words, and over the next few months, I'm going to do more videos on particular words and share with you the intention just to offer you a different perspective. Yeah? So I hope that you gained something little from today's video. And if I gave you value, and if you so choose, I would be so grateful if you would like the video, subscribe to my channel, and also click on the notifications bell so you'll be notified when I upload tomorrow's Cat's message of the day. Remember, you matter. You matter. You are your most valuable asset, so I invest in you every day. I want to thank you for spending your time with me, as I respect your time is valuable. So maybe from today moving forward, you'll be really mindful about what expectations you've been setting on others. Sit down and maybe write a list. Get clear and see if you feel comfortable setting those. And then ask yourself, what expectations do you feel people have set on you, and how do they make you feel? Sometimes if we reverse engineer it, it really does assist us to go, not doing it anymore. Yeah? So, I want to thank you for spending your time. And for today, take care of you.